So this one said find all the unknown sides and unknown angles. So we're going to do it a little bit at a time, and let's label everything first. That's the most important thing for any of these questions, is to carefully label your diagram. So there's the right angle. So if that's the right angle, this must be the hypotenuse. If this is the angle, we know that has to be the opposite, and the other one must be the adjacent. It's not nice to look with 5 foot 8 inches, so it's better to get it into inches only, so 68 inches. Okay. So what do we want to work out? Well, we could work out angle A if we wanted to. So step 1, angle A. Okay. You could label it as angle BAC if you wanted to, but angle A is good enough. And we know that 90 degrees plus 37 degrees plus angle A equals 180 degrees. And they're going to list in most of them ASTT. It means angle sum of a triangle theorem. It just means if you add all the angles together, you get 180. So 90 plus 37 is 9, 10, 11, 127 plus angle A equals 180. So angle A equals, you're going to subtract 127 from both sides, is going to be 53 degrees, I think. Okay, so this one's 53 degrees. Whoops, 53 degrees. Now, I'm not going to use that angle for anything because I've given this one, so I'm going to try my best to just use this angle, because I could use the 53 degrees, but I calculated, and if I made a mistake, I don't want to compound the error, so I'm going to use 37 for all my other parts. So, okay, so we want to find this side, for example. Why don't we find H first, okay? You could call it little side C if you wanted to, okay? You could call this one little side A if you wanted, and this one little side B if you wanted to as well. So for side C, we've got, it's the hypotenuse we're thinking about, and we have the opposite, all right? So I'm going to write the 3 formulas again. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So what I do whenever I'm looking at these, I've got the angle, I want to know the hypotenuse, and I have the opposite. This one I've got 2 out of the 3, so it's going to work. If I looked at the other ones, I want the hypotenuse, I have the angle, but I don't have this one, so if I'm in trouble. There's 2 things I don't know, and in the other one, I know the opposite. In this one, I don't even care about the adjacent yet. I could use it later on, so this is the formula I want to find the opposite, or side C. So sine theta, so step 2 if you want, find H or C, whatever you want to call it. So we've got sine theta equals over H sine, and then we just substitute. The angle was 37 degrees. The opposite we knew was 68 inches over H. I want H on its own, so I'm going to multiply both sides by H because I don't like fractions. And then I've got H sine 37 equals 68, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine 37. You can't separate that 37 and the sine. Okay, so then I've got H equals, what's 68 divided by sine 37? Depending on your calculator, I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I've got 68 divided by sine 37. And I got 112. H equals 112.99, so we'll call that 113. 113. So it's 113 inches. Is that reasonable? We'll look up here. This one was 68 inches. The hypotenuse definitely has to be longer because it's against the 90 degrees, so it's going to be the bigger side. Okay, so there's 113 inches, and you'd have to change that into feet and inches. So 113 inches, and divide by 12 inches per foot, and we're left with 9.42 feet. But we don't want that, we want feet versus inches, so we can say, well, 0.42 feet, and if we multiply that by, there's 12 inches per foot, the feet divide out, and we're left with 0.42 times 12, 0.42 times 12, 5 inches, okay, so 5 inches, so that side is going to be 9 foot 5 inches, okay, for the hypotenuse.